What up, Cooks? It's your boy, the Hater, and it's been a while since I made an AEW video. The primary reason for this is because it's been a while since I've watched AEW. Now, I really like Christian Cage, so I'm looking forward to at least reading the results of this next pay-per-view. I don't know if people still like Swerve Strickland. I don't see how. This is just like basically another Damien Priest at this point, a shitty world champion with eyeshadow. But what can you do, right? I hope Christian wins, and then he and Edge can feud for the real title instead of like wasting everybody's time with this bullshit, right? Meanwhile, Jon Moxley is the new IWGP heavyweight champion, and nobody gives a flying fuck. It's over, motherfucks. It's over. All it took was The Rock coming back to SmackDown and Raw for everyone to forget about AEW and fucking New Japan, right? It's a wrap. It's over. Since day one, I said it. This is going to go down as just like a company that all they did was lose money. And quite frankly, it's just like, it's done. Like, it's done. Nobody cares anymore, right? Nobody cares. Now people might be hoping that maybe one day Swerve Strickland can go in WWE again. And maybe he will, right? But if he does, he'll be out there jobbing to Tehuti Miles, a.k.a. Ashanti the Adonis, because that's pretty much how good he is, right? There's nothing special about this guy. There's nothing special about anyone in AEW. Now, quite frankly, I don't remember how long it's been since MJF left, right? It feels like it's been like 6 months, but it probably hasn't, you know? But does anyone even miss him? No. Nobody gives a flying fuck. He's not going to have any impact on the views. And quite frankly, the fact that he's been gone for so long really makes him come off as a prima donna, right? He's already someone that doesn't wrestle enough, and now he doesn't even show up, right? Oh, but he's injured. I don't care if he's injured. Dominic Mysterio is injured. You see what I'm saying? You gotta show up to work. Otherwise, people will forget about you. Now, there's also the other alternative. You don't show up to work for a while, and then when you do, people remember you and they love you again. And that's also very possible. I ain't against that. I get that. But that's not what's going to happen here. I mean, sure, obviously, in the beginning, there's going to be a slight boost, but it's not like anyone's going to care because MJ is going to come out and presumably he's going to have a feud with Adam Cole, but it's been so long, and Adam Cole has been so injured for like the longest time that like, who gives a flying fuck? You know what I mean? Like, oh, Adam Cole ruined, he screwed MJF a year ago. Who the fuck cares? At this point, everyone's moved on. There's a new champion that people apparently like. Hopefully he'll lose to Christian. And Jon Moxley is basically another world champion because the IWGP title at least has like prestige and like history. So, you know, that's something that like he can benefit from and that the company could benefit from. But beyond that, we've got this bullshit elite versus like AEW feud, right? Now, I don't have anything against this except for the fact that like, number one, we've seen this a million times, right? Not only have we seen this a million times in other contexts, right? But we've seen this a million times with the wrestlers that are currently involved, right? Like they're fucking, the entire elite faction is basically like a fucking Judd Apatow movie. First, everyone's friends, then they're not friends, then they're friends again, then they're not friends, and they're friends again. Who gives a flying fuck is the point here, right? Now, in addition to this, I don't want to fucking hear about how great this angle is because, quite frankly, there was only one time that this angle should have taken place, and that was during the Invasion angle, WWE versus WCW / ECW as the Alliance, right? People say this was something that was mismanaged, and they're like, oh, they didn't have enough stars. Well, AEW has no stars. You think Darby Allin is a star? You know what I'm saying? Darby Allin, this company has been around for 6 years, and all it's done is take away valuable time from people's careers, and, you know, I mean, I guess it's paid them handsomely because these people don't deserve any money. But like, you know, Sammy Guevara, you know, like hasn't been on TV for 1,000 years, it feels like. I mean, to be honest, I haven't watched the last few weeks, so maybe he's back, what the fuck knows. But the point is, all these people that were supposed to be big deals, right? Oh, their future is ahead of them, you know? And like, you know, people bought into that. And I get it, right? Why wouldn't you buy into that, right? Their futures are ahead of them. But that's different. It's different when your future is ahead of you and you're 25, and it's different when your future is quote unquote ahead of you and you're fucking what? You're 30. Like Sammy Guevara is 30. He's been there for for 5 years, motherfuckers. For 5 years, AEW has done nothing with Sammy Guevara, right? Now he's 30. 30 is by no means old to do anything except, motherfuckers, it's a little bit old to start your wrestling career, right? Which effectively is what he's going to have to do if he goes to WWE, right? This guy has TJP written all over him. Like, why would this guy have a better career than Joaquin Wilde? You know what I mean? He won't. There's no reason to think that, right? He hasn't done anything to deserve it. But it doesn't matter. The point is, he's just one guy that fell through the cracks, right? A lot of people in AEW were younger guys, right? That was the kind of the premise of AEW. Like, Darby Allin is a great example. He's been there since day one. And since day one, Darby Allin has been basically like a fucking, pillar of the company, right? And in day one, 5 years ago, he was 26, which is perfect. Like, imagine signing for WWE at 26 and being good, right? By 29, you're on the main roster, right? Like, and you've already had like a push or two, right? Like Kofi Kingston, you can have a Kofi Kingston career. None of these guys are going to have a Kofi Kingston-esque career, right? Because quite frankly, they don't have the time. Kofi Kingston's been in the company for like 15 years. Darby Allin doesn't have 15 years of wrestling left in him. You see what I'm saying? MJF even doesn't have all that time left. Now, MJF is a little bit different because he's a little bit younger than all the other jobbers. But even he's got to be like 28, 29, right? Let's Google it. 28, motherfuckers. 28. MJF is 28. He just turned, so he's a fresh 28. But 28 is not the same thing as 25. Because if he goes to NXT by 29 or by 30, then it's like, okay, he could have a Bobby Roode career, right? Very, very possible. You got to start young in the WWE, not only because you have the opportunity to learn their style and all that other shit. That's not important at all. What's important is that by being there early, right, you have the opportunity not only to develop your character and everything else that I just said, but they see you as a long-term investment. So there's not one kid in NXT like Jadavion or whatever his name is, Javion, I don't know. I've only seen him in one match that I skipped. It was him versus Oro Mensah, which was supposed to be like basically the last guy that was supposed to be this Javion guy, right? It's like every once in a while they'll get like a young black guy and they'll be like, this guy has his whole future ahead of him, right? And then they'll make him a jobber and have him tag team with like Cedric Alexander or something, right? But anyways, the point is, they got this Javion guy, he's like 18, I think, right? This guy has a real legit possibility of being a megastar, right? Because the future is unknown for him. He's 18, motherfuckers. In 20 years, if he sticks with WWE, he'll be the age of Cody Rhodes. You see what I'm saying? He has an opportunity to make a name for himself because he's starting out so young. Whereas MJF is not going to start out as young and therefore is not going to have that same opportunity. MJF was like 23 when he started. And it's like you ask yourself, what has he done in these 5 years to make himself impressive? Nothing. He's cut, let's say, 50 promos. That's being generous. He's probably cut like 30 promos. He's cut 30 promos and had about 20 matches in 5 years, right? And this guy's the future of wrestling? In what world is he more of a future of wrestling than the Javion kid? I apologize to the kid because I don't know his name, but I'm going to call him the Javion kid from now on because I don't give a flying fuck. Or if you compare him to Braun Breaker, let's look up Braun Breaker's age. He's probably around the same age as MJF. No, he's not. He's 26. He's 26 and he's already in WWE getting a push. Now, as I've said in the past, the push that he's getting is a bullshit push. He deserves more than this. But what can you do? You can't have everything you want up in this piece. The idea stands though, motherfuckers. The idea stands. And we have to, consider these things when we talk about AEW. AEW, it's a wrap. Like, it's going to go down in history as, I can't believe Darby Allin wasted his years in AEW. What could have happened if he went to NXT, right? Because Darby Allin's not going to have like a 50-year career. Darby Allin's he's got like 10 more years in him if he's lucky, because he's just, all he does is jump on coffins and shit. You know what I'm saying? He just jumps on tables back first like a retard. So like, he's not like cut from the same cloth as Jeff Hardy. He's like 120 pounds. This guy's not going to make it. But, AEW can be a good like retirement home type thing. Like, if you're like Evan Bourne and you need a place to make some money, AEW is a good place for that. But that's basically it. There's really nothing else going on there. Like, it's like they're pushing like WWE jobbers to become champions. And it's like, I know they're trying to make Swerve Strickland like, a star and like one of their franchise players, But Swerve Strickland is never going to be a franchise player. It's just really that simple. Like, he's just not good enough, you know? He's not charismatic enough. And on the ring, he's great. Like, he's very athletic. But he's not charismatic enough, right? And, like, this is how you know. Like, there's people... Like, some people have a very inflated sense of self. One of these people is Swerve Strickland, right? Another one is Conan, right? From WCW. Rikishi's another one. There's a few people that really think they're better than they are. Some of them are good. Like, Conan has always cut a great promo. But, like, have you ever heard Conan rap? Like, this fucking asshole thinks he's a good rapper. He's like a 1 out of 10 on rap. Like, go look up, like, the entrance music of 3 Live Crew when they sing it live. And you hear Conan, he's like, numero uno. And it's like, it sounds like shit. And you're like, the fuck's this guy saying, right? Every rap song he's made, it's garbage, right? He's shit. Same thing with Swerve Strickland. I swerve when I drive. Swerve when I drive. And with me, you lost your mind, right? I swerve. It's shit. The song is garbage. 100% garbage, right? And these people, like, that have this overinflated sense of self, like, I saw an interview, it was fucking cringe as shit, because it's Swerve Strickland, he's like, you know, I just freestyled this entrance theme song, right? But he said it with the pride of someone that made something good, right? He's like, I just freestyled it. Yeah, I'm not surprised you just freestyled it, it's shit. It's just him being like, swerve, when I drive, you lost me, you crossed your mind, you're out of death, then you're lame, then you swerve, then I drive, and it just sounds like shit, you know what I'm saying? But with that being said, I got nothing more to say about this. Maybe I'll make a video on Swerve next, cucks.